I deserve to know what I did wrong. Those words were the breaking point after months of texts, calls, and awkward confrontations from my father's new wife, Jessica. She wanted to know why I kept my distance. She wanted to know what she had done to make me hate her. After weeks of vague excuses and deflections, I finally gave her the unfiltered truth she kept demanding. Now I'm wondering if I should have just kept my mouth shut. I am a 26-year-old woman. My parents divorced when I was 19 after 22 years of marriage. The split wasn't amicable. My dad, 52, had been having an affair with Jessica, 34, who was an administrative assistant at his law firm. My mom found out in possibly the most brutal way imaginable. Jessica sent her photos, lots of photos, not just of them together at restaurants or events, but intimate photos. Photos taken in hotel rooms, photos taken in my parents' bed while my mom was visiting her sister for a weekend. Photos with captions like, "He says I'm better than she ever was," and "Just thought you should know where your husband has been." It was calculated, it was cruel, and it destroyed my mother. Mom had a complete breakdown. She had to be hospitalized for 2 weeks after she became suicidal. The images haunted her, especially the ones taken in her own bed. She couldn't sleep in her bedroom anymore. She ultimately had to sell the house because she couldn't bear to be in it. She lost 20 pounds, started having panic attacks, and had to take a 6-month leave from her job. I was in college when it happened, and I took a semester off to help her recover. My older brother was overseas in the military and couldn't come home, so it was just me watching our mother shatter. Those months were the darkest of my life. Meanwhile, my dad moved in with Jessica almost immediately after Mom kicked him out. He tried to maintain a relationship with me, expressing remorse about how things ended with Mom, but never acknowledging Jessica's role in deliberately traumatizing her. When I confronted him about it, he claimed that Jessica had made a mistake because she was emotional about their relationship being a secret. A mistake, as if accidentally sending one text, not dozens of curated photos with cruel captions. I've maintained minimal contact with my dad since then. I see him for occasional lunches, always alone, never at his house. I refused to attend his wedding to Jessica 3 years ago, which created a huge rift. My brother, who didn't witness Mom's breakdown firsthand, has been more forgiving. He attended the wedding and has a cordial relationship with Jessica. This has made family situations even more complicated. For the past 7 years, I've successfully kept Jessica at arm's length. I don't follow her on social media. I decline invitations to their home. I schedule time with my dad when I know she'll be busy. I'm not outwardly rude, just unavailable. This strategy worked until about 2 months ago, when my dad had a minor health scare. Nothing serious, but he needed surgery and a few weeks of recovery. Suddenly, Jessica appointed herself the family coordinator, texting me updates and trying to schedule when I would come help out. I kept making excuses, saying work was busy or that I could only stop by briefly when I knew she'd be at work. After my dad recovered, Jessica's texts became more frequent and more direct. "I feel like you've been avoiding me for years," she wrote. "Whatever issues you have with me, we should clear the air. We're family now." I didn't respond. A week later, another message. "Your dad is hurt that you won't come to our home. Is it because of me? What did I do to make you hate me so much?" Again, I didn't engage. Then came phone calls, which I sent to voicemail. Then she approached me directly at my brother's birthday dinner, cornering me in the kitchen. "We need to talk," she said. "This has gone on long enough. I've tried to be patient, but I'm your father's wife, and you treat me like I don't exist." "I'd rather not do this here," I said, trying to move past her. "When, then? You avoid every opportunity." "I deserve to know what I did that was so terrible." I excused myself and left the party early, claiming a headache. That night, she sent me the message that finally broke my restraint. It was long, self-pitying, and culminated with, "I deserve to know what I did wrong. If you have something to say, just say it. I can handle the truth." So I told her. I wrote back, "You want to know what you did? You deliberately sent my mother explicit photos of you with my dad, including in her own bed, with captions designed to hurt her as deeply as possible. You didn't just have an affair with a married man, you went out of your way to traumatize his wife. Mom was hospitalized because of you. She lost her home because of you. She almost lost her life because of you. You didn't make a mistake. You made a choice to be cruel, and I watched my mother suffer the consequences while you played the victim. That's what you did wrong. That's why I keep my distance. I don't hate you, I just don't respect you. And I don't want a relationship with someone who could do something so deliberately hurtful to another human being. The response was immediate. Jessica called me, sobbing, saying she had no idea Mom had been hospitalized. She claimed she'd been young and stupid, that she'd been insecure about being the other woman, that she'd regretted it immediately afterward. She begged for forgiveness, saying she'd been carrying the guilt for years, but didn't know how to make it right. I didn't want to hear it. I told her I wasn't interested in her justifications and ended the call. Within an hour, my dad was calling, angrier than I've ever heard him. He said I had been needlessly cruel to Jessica, that I had dredged up ancient history just to hurt her, and that if I couldn't move on for the sake of this family, then maybe I shouldn't come around at all. My brother called next, saying that while he understood my feelings, I had gone too far. She's been trying to make amends for years, he said. You didn't have to throw it in her face like that. Even my mom, who has rebuilt her life and found happiness with a new partner, suggested I might have been too harsh. What she did was terrible, Mom said, but holding on to anger only hurts you in the end. I'm standing my ground. I didn't go looking for this confrontation. I didn't volunteer this information. Jessica pushed and pushed for an answer, insisting she deserved the truth, and I finally gave it to her. If the truth is painful to hear, perhaps she shouldn't have asked for it so insistently. Still, the universal pushback has me questioning myself. Jessica hasn't contacted me since, and my dad is barely speaking to me. My brother thinks I need to apologize to move forward. Mom thinks I should find forgiveness for my own peace. So, am I the jerk for telling my dad's new wife exactly why I keep my distance after she repeatedly demanded to know? Should I have continued deflecting or found a gentler way to express my feelings? Or was I right to finally be honest after years of tiptoeing around the elephant in the room?